Full-Time Devils paper review, Wednesday the 17th of April 2019. Webby, how are you feeling?
Been better, Gaz.
Yeah.
It was so, we started well last night, and then it's about 10 minutes, it just went to what we expected, to be honest. Messi was Messi, I just think that it proved the gap between us and the top diners of European football. We're a million miles away, and it's down to the club now to do something, because the gap's going to get bigger.
Well, I think Man United should never stop comparing themselves to the best teams in the world. Barcelona are top tier, pure European gold. We should always compare ourselves to them. And like you say, last night it just proved we are absolutely nowhere near that level. And if we put everything into that game against Barca and we lost like that, then it's like fair enough. But the way that we did it, Ashley Young, the mistake for the first one, and he was horrific in the first game. We knew he wasn't good enough. David De Gea as well, who is one of the few players we've got that you would say is of that top calibre, isn't he?
Yeah, you've got to look at Gaz. We've got too many of these players. I seen a stat last night that when we got knocked out in Bâle in 2011, Jones, Smalling and Young was in that team. We've not moved on, You look at the Ajax team, what Jay said about before, obviously a couple of years ago, we bossed them in Stockholm. They've not gone out and spent £4 billion. They promoted youth, they've got a system, what they're playing, it's bearing fruits now, and I said a long ago on this channel, we made a mistake by getting rid of Daley Blind.
Yeah.
And it's come to a point now, I've seen highlights of last night, the kid was superb, and we've dropped a wrong in there, you know what I mean? When it's like you're saying, the board have got to back the manager. If they don't, I feel for us, Gaz.
Right, here's the paper review. So let's get into it. Talk about The Guardian first. Back page there. On their knees, magical Messi and De Gea's blunder leave United humbled. Yeah, well and truly. The blunder from David De Gea. Can we talk about him this season? He's not had a good season at all, has he?
It started in the World Cup.
Yeah.
When Ronaldo hit a dodgy one past him. And you're not going to slag De Gea off because he's been our mainstay for 5 or 6 seasons. He's proved that we're getting Player of the Year. But you all have your bad times. But for me, he doesn't command the box. He's not that presence, He doesn't like coming for crosses. He's a great shot stopper, probably the best in the world. And that probably gets him out of trouble. Great save at the back door last night, But you can't slag him off. It's a horrendous mistake, we all know that. And if goalkeepers make a horrendous mistake, 9 times out of 10 it's a goal. Your centre-half maybe better get away with it, by someone clearing it after their mistake. Because if you look at the start, I think it was Jones give Smalling a real bad back pass and he cleared it. You can get away with it, but just all round, it's like, I think they had another couple of gears to go to Barcelona if they really wanted to,
Last night they hadn't took it out of neutral, I don't think.
Rashford's got to score that at the beginning.
Yeah.
First 5 minutes, I really thought it was up for it, first 5-10 minutes, and then they get 2 goals in 5 minutes, and then the game's done. We're not going to score 3, never.
Is it? It's Barney Ronay. Am I pronouncing that right? Barney Ronay. He's the journalist in The Guardian. He says Smalling and Jones caught in headlights and providing pointers to where the rebuilding must begin. Smalling and Jones, like you say, Smalling, Jones and Ashley Young to be in that Manchester United team at the Nou Camp last night is just an absolute shambles. It shows where we are in terms of investment over the last 10 years. I saw someone on Twitter put it well, actually, and I would agree to that. I'd give them the credit if I could remember their name. But they said that Man United haven't had a good enough squad since 2009.
Probably, he's spot
10
on.
years.
He's spot on, you know what I mean? We've gone... Don't get me wrong, guys, I'd rather kids come through the ranks, like McTominay. Great, love to see that. But you can't afford to do that now, like you look at the class of 92, where Fergie put them all in and it works out. It might not have worked out, but it did because they were good players. Now you can probably get one, like McTominay. You can't put 3 or 4 in because clubs and owners want instant success. And you can't really put this pressure on. But it's our big players who are not standing up.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not standing up. The World Cup winner. It's like last night, I've seen a picture of him walking off the pitch. The rest of the players are clapping. He's not bothered. He's not bothered about him. He's walked off the pitch, guys. You know what I mean? Give the people who spent all that money over there, who've been to others, with friends of ours, who go to every game. It might seem nothing to us, but if you can see a player clapping, you feel a little touch better.
Of course
and
you
you
do.
see him walking straight off, Gaz. That's not for me, but massive rebuilding programme, and if we don't do it right, Gaz, we're in a lot of mess, mate.
There needs to be a lot of investment this summer.
The right players have got to come, Gaz. There's no point in finding 4 and 5, it was just going to be not as good as we've already got. They've got to be better.
Or even worse, spending a ridiculous amount of money just on these marquee Galactico signings, which one of them has been spoken about from the game last night, so we'll go into that as well, a player that we've rumoured to be linked into. Last thing on The Guardian, though, they've said that about Ajax last night. De Ligt, teenage captain, leads Dutch side to the last 4 as Ronaldo and Juventus crash out. See, that's an interesting point. That Ajax team, we played them in the Europa League final.
Men against boys, guys.
Yeah,
we
bossed them.
If you didn't go to the game 2-0, you think, we absolutely destroyed them. Fellaini bullied them.
Yeah.
Mkhitaryan was bullying people.
Was it 2015 we won the Europa League now? 2015 was it?
Yes,
2016?
2016.
Was it 2016? Right, okay, yeah.
And it makes you wonder, Dave, obviously you've got Van der Sar in as a director of football and they've been promoting all these kids and how old's this captain? He's only a teenager.
Yeah, he's a young lad, yeah.
And everyone's looking at him. He's not going to come to us. No disrespect to us at the moment, but if your big boys are battling around Europe and we can't offer Champions League and we're going to play on a Thursday night, which is a good chance to, he's going to go to one of the big boys, and we should be aiming for the best players.
2017, sorry, it was that we won the Europa League. God, that feels ages ago.
Yeah,
don't it feel ages ago that we won that? Yeah, tell me about that. It's literally what it is. But yeah, I know what you're saying there, mate. And like you say with that Ajax team as well, how they've gone on with a sort of an actual plan of how they want their club to be run.
Well, they lost the best player. They lost the centre-half, didn't they, to Tottenham? Big dough, when he was a monster that night, if you remember. I think Lingard was straight through one-on-one and he come from nowhere and took the ball and he was a captain, he was their mainstay. But they give these kids a chance. If they're good enough, they'll give them a chance, and it's bearing fruits this year because, let's have it right, who would have thought they were going to the Bernabeu and destroyed them, even though Madrid aren't the Madrid they was a few years back, to go there and destroy them. And to go, I know we went to Juventus' backyard and won, but we were lucky. Free kick and a last-minute own goal, but by all accounts, they totally deserved it last night, so fair play to them. People think when the draw come out, everyone wanted us in Ajax. I don't think, obviously with the draw's already made for the semi now, people won't want to play Ajax, you know what I mean? They play lovely football. But going on about us, Gaz, last night it was hard to watch, and was there any good points to take? Sanchez is back again, he'll probably play a couple of games and go disappearing again. But it was bad, Gary, and like you're saying, I think they had a couple of gears to move up as well.
In the Daily Star, they've put Ollie men mess it up. Barca show their class as Lionel lights up the tie. They put that picture as well of Coutinho with his fingers in his ears. I didn't know this, but Jay told me before that apparently they've been giving him stick this season, the Barcelona fans, and apparently there were rumours that we were linked to him, which really stressed me out because I think Coutinho is a massively overrated player who once in a blue moon can score an unbelievable goal. And I just feel like he is the type of Galactico signing, big name in football, that we'd go for, he'd come, and he just wouldn't turn up for us.
No, I look at him at Liverpool, and I think he was all right, but looking at it there, if I'm saying obviously he's had a lot of stick off the press, the Spanish press who owned you. The fans, there was a bigger cheer for when, I remember him saying it last night, obviously it's a proper first cheer he got coming off, but the sub who come on got twice as big a cheer, and so did Sanchez when he come on. Would I take him? I'd take him now, Gaz, only because he's better than what we've got.
Yeah.
It sounds bad that, but we've got to sign the right players.
That's what
they don't have to be the big names. They've got to come into our team and be able to make us a better team, not just better than what we've got. You know what I mean? And I've seen obviously Ashley Young. It hurts me. You know what I mean? He's been a great servant for us, but I think he's gone now. But for him to get that abuse last night, racial abuse as well, on so-called United fans.
Yeah, well, that's out of order, innit? That obviously goes without saying that that's sick, and anyone who's actually a football fan, or in fact just a good person in general.
Nobody goes on the pitch, whichever team you play for, to play bad.
No, you're right.
It just happens, doesn't it? It just happens, and for me to get absolutely slaughtered, and I'm racially slaughtered. Nah, for me that.
Obviously overstepping about a line there totally. But last night, Ashley Young is the captain. I just think with the players on the pitch, they're all struggling a little bit.
Ashley Young the captain.
I know.
You said it all, mate.
It's not him who makes himself the captain.
No.
But I think of those players last night, needing some inspiration against Barcelona, and I saw the camera go to Ashley Young, and he's clapping them all along, and I'm like, you've been the worst one all night. How am I gonna take inspiration from you?
As you're looking at it, Gaz, it's like we've been spoilt over the years. Robbo, Keno, Vidic, Ferdinand. Proper leaders, that's what we lack. We've got no leaders within the team where that first goal that goes in last night, and someone gets a right rollicking, because that's what Keano would do, and Robbo would do, and Vidic would do. You know, and it's, can we find someone out there? There's got to be someone out there who can help the club, but it's finding that right person. And at the moment, we've got not one leader within that club, and for the club the size of Manchester United, we should have 4 or 5.
I would say the starting 11 when we played Chelsea in the Champions League final 2008, every single one of those players would be a better captain than anyone currently in our team. I'd say every single player that started that night, including Owen Hargreaves.
Yeah, you're probably right, Gaz. It's just it's heartbreaking for Reds what you're seeing, you know. And like you're saying, we move on to Sunday's game, and that's massive now. It's massive.
Are we going to get top 4, do you reckon, this season now?
Ask me in 2 weeks.
It's changed my mind all the time. I'll ask you in June, we're going to get top 4. I don't know, mate, honestly, but the idea of playing in that Europa League next season...
I've come on camera and thought until the other week we'd get third. I really fancied it. And then obviously with stupid defeats, and the West Ham game, we were so lucky to get away with that. But you got to go back. You got West Ham, we were lucky. Southampton, we were lucky. And Watford, we were lucky. And we got 9 points. Totally. You know, so there's a major problem there. I can't put the finger on it. If I did, I won't be sat here now. I'll be somewhere else. But major things have got to happen, mate. Major summer for the football club. Right,
let's have a look at some of the other papers. In the Mirror, some of the player ratings here for Barcelona. 7s all round, an 8 there for Alaba. A 9 there for Messi, obviously man of the match. Coutinho getting an 8 as well. And for United, which we're obviously more interested in. 5 for De Gea, 5 for Jones, 6 for Smalling, 6 for Lindelof, 4 for Ashley Young, 6 for McTominay, 4 for Fred. 4 for Pogba, 6 for Lingard, 7 for Rashford, and 6 for Martial. I think that's about right. There's maybe a couple that were a little harsh, maybe Fred slightly harsh, but yeah, Pogba maybe slightly harsh. They should have been a 5, and Young with a 4, and maybe De Gea you could have said 4 for him as well because of that mistake. But what do you make of those ratings?
Well, I don't bother about those ratings, because who's wrote it? Someone who's probably never played the game before. If it's
written by John Cross.
Never heard of her. I listen to ex-players. If they put marks, and I listen because they played the game. Some of these are clowns.
Yeah.
They never played the game in their life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't listen to those ratings, you know what I mean? I've seen the match, he wasn't good enough. End of story. We're beaten by the better team. Hold your hands up, dust yourself down, move on to the next game. But these ratings, guys, they're clueless.
All right, well, that's really good to hear, Webby, since for the rest of the video, we're going to go over the rest of the ratings in the papers.
Oh, guys.
I'm only joking. Let's see what you think of these ones. Let's see if these ones are any better anyway. This is in the Daily Mail. Chris Wheeler at the Nou Camp. David De Gea 4.5, Victor Lindelof 5.5, Chris Smalling 5, Phil Jones 5, Young 5, Scott McTominay 6, Fred, another low one for Fred 4.5, and Paul Pogba 5.5, Jesse 5. What is with the 0.5? What is with the 0.5? What is this?
It's like dancing on ice.
Get a grip, just do it out of 5, you morons. 6.5 for Marcus Rashford, 4.5 for Anthony Martial. All sound about right. Fred getting the lowest rating there, though. What did you think of Fred last night?
Started well. I thought they all started well, you know. We looked good on the ball. You could have thought we were Barcelona, the way we were knocking it out the first 5-10 minutes till it went wrong. And I think Fred's all right. I think Fred will be all right. He needs more game time. He's been stop, start, injury, and his baby struggling to settle. But I think he'll do all right.
You know, Fred recently, I said this before on the preview, I think Fred, despite the games that we've lost recently, I think he's been one of our best players.
Played well. What got me there, he played well in Paris. He played well against Arsenal, he'll give the penalty away, which is dubious. Then we didn't see him at Wolves. Now, for me, that knocks your confidence. I would have played him at Wolves in the Cup, and he never. But that's down to the manager. The Barcelona ratings by the Daily Mail, by the way, pretty much 7s all round, apart from Messi, who's got a 9. 9.5?
No, he's got a 9.
Wait till you get on this, Gaz.
Hey, now, this is where it gets interesting, isn't it? Looking at our good mate Samuel Luckhurst ratings in the Manchester Evening News. Let's go through them then. Manchester United, starting with David De Gea, who out of 10 has been given a 2.
Says it all about the gentleman who's wrote that.
Yeah, he's made a mistake last night, and don't get me wrong, he probably is worthy of a 4 or a 5 out of 10, but just give him a 2. He's just doing it to be a talking point, isn't he, almost?
Yeah. So by the paper, guys, I'm just looking down at some of the others you're going to go through now, and it's really bad. It's like...
he's done it again, hasn't he, there? I've just noticed that one, he's done it again, hasn't he? So for the first leg, Ashley Young didn't have a great game, we all know that. He gave him a 1 out of 10, which was harsh. Even on that, which was a shoddy performance, it was at least a 3-4 out of 10. He's given him another 1 out of 10, Ashley Young, has Sam Luckhurst. He said, showed in front of Avram Glazer how much United need a fullback. Set Messi on his way for the opener. Did have a shocker, Ashley Young, last night. We don't really need to go more into it, as we already have.
Miss Young.
But 1 out of 10.
Miss Luke Shaw.
Yeah.
You know, I forgot he was suspended last night. Missed him. Been decent all year for me, Shaw. You know, it was a bad blow. But that's a proof between us and City. If they've got someone suspended, they've got someone class to come in. You know, you're not worrying who's coming in. We haven't. You know, we played people out of position. And Ashley Young is still living off that World Cup dream where he played every game for England at fullback. And the majority of the games, by all accounts, he did half right. You know, but we know what we need. It's down for those owners now and for the manager to be backed and say, listen, I need it. Because now, Gaz, with the amount of games you've got, you need 2 players for every position.
Yeah.
2 class players. We've probably got an average or a class player, and that's it. You know.
Yeah.
You know, when it's hard to take, Gaz, for being United. You know, you don't deserve to win every game, but in our eyes, we're the biggest football club in the world, and it'll always remain that. But as you look at these ratings and last night's performance and performance over the last month, it's not been the United way. You know, so it's hard, Gary.
I put it on Twitter last night. I said that it's like all the players we thought were top tier players aren't quite at that level, and all the players we thought were rubbish are absolutely rubbish.
Yeah. I just think when you come against class players, it shows. You can get away with it. It's like some games where you've got 1 or 2 players who are not playing to their potential. But we've had 4 and 5, and we've got away with it. Nights like that in Barcelona, everyone's got to be on the ball to get something, even a draw. You know, if you got 4 or 5 below par, you're going to get an hour in. And like I said to you before, guys, I think they had another couple of years to go up. You know, if they really wanted to. You know what I mean? It proves it to me that bit messy where the ASAs, he's turned Phil Jones on the 6, which then he's sent him for the loaf. You know what I mean? He's come back with 10-6.
Yeah.
You know, and that proves the point that we should... I'm not saying we should have players of the Barcelona type. You know, we're the biggest club in the world. But until we get rid of these owners, mate, it's not going to change, you know. You look at Old Trafford now, I'm sorry about going off there.
No,
Stadium looks old, depressive. And you see, my mate went down to Spurs the other week with Stockport. I mean, City. And he said, Webby, it's unreal. Now, no disrespect to Tottenham Hotspur Football Club, but that should be at Old Trafford.
Something should have happened with Old Trafford over the last 10 years.
On the roof and all the paintwork's all white, all black, and the windows at the top of the quads are all full of moss. That goes onto the pitch for me. You know what I mean? It's looking old in the press. But someone said, well, where do we play? Which is fair enough, but the club should be looking at that. Where could we play if we didn't turn around Old Trafford? We'd have to build some. Go and build a new ground. There's enough land at the back there. Go and build it. Keep it in Old Trafford. But Old Trafford now, and you know yourself, like, you got the Emirates there, you're like in chairs, what you've got here, lads, and comfy and plenty of life. Old Trafford, I'm like that. Wherever I go in the ground. That shouldn't be there. You know, people say, I can't wait to go into Old Trafford, and I'm like, oh, you're joking.
No.
It's terrible. So that's these problems, you know what I mean? And they're going to have to spend the money.
It's something that the Glazers have almost got away with United and Old Trafford, specifically because of the history and the tradition and things like that. It's called
Old Trafford.
Yeah, well,
the McDonald's Stadium or something like that, you know what I mean?
Well, don't, because when they do it up, that's what it'll be. It'll be the Avram Glazer Arena.
Well...
Right, rest of the team ratings from Sam Luckhurst in the MEN then. De Gea 2, Jones 4, Smalling 5, Lindelof 4, Young 1, McTominay 4, Fred 4, Pogba given a 3, Lingard with a 4, Martial with a 4 and Rashford with a 4. Pogba with the 3 there, then the third worst one in Luckhurst's ratings. What do you make of that, Pogba last night? I mean, I think...
Do you know what? I look at the lad and we know he's got the ability. We've seen that when he was at Juventus, France in the World Cup, but for me he doesn't do it enough. You know, he's got to take the games by the scruff of their neck.
That's what you want, I think.
He's got the ability. you know, and then I see him lose the ball. There's too many flicks of me. Get the ball. I look at Patrick Vieira, never liked him, great player. Simple, got the ball, passed it. No flicks, no this, no that. At 1-0, 4-0 up, 5-0 up. Just do the simple stuff, it's effective. And if you keep the ball, the other team can't score. It's common sense, you know, and for me, do I think he's going to be here next year? I really don't. I think if the money's right, I think they'll sell him, and I think he wants to go.
I'm all for like flicks and tricks and the beautiful side of football and
the
stuff
sun's
like
shining,
that.
but when you're getting beat 1-0 and it's raining, and you're on Merseyside or you're in the North East, you need players to stand up. And for me, he doesn't do that enough. You know, who am I? But I'm just saying what I see. He's a great player. I'd build a team around him, give him that captain's armband. But when I seen it at Watford this year in the Cup and I seen him coming out with an armband on, I thought, you're going to have a right game tonight. Rubbish he was. You know, and he's got the ability, Gaz, and he's just not doing it, mate. And as his time come up, time will tell, but money talks, and he's making noises about wanting to move. So maybe on best account. I hope I'm wrong, I hope he stays and we build a team round him, but something tells me he wants to go to Madrid, and fair play to him.
So, mate, like I was saying, I'm all for the flicks and tricks, but the guy you see him when you're after a goal, he'll hold up the ball in his own half, wait for 3 players to surround him, then lose it. I'm like, this is one of the best players you're telling me he is one of the best players in the world. I rate him. I've seen him do brilliant things. I don't think we've got a player who can pass a ball like Paul Pogba, for example. But to do just utter stupid things like that, and it is stupid. There's no other way around it. It's stupid, some of the things that he does. Equally, he does some things that are genius as well. But he wasn't at fault last night. The old team it was massively disappointing all round for United, and we've crashed out the Champions League. Despite that, you'd still hope Barcelona win the thing now, wouldn't you?
Well, do you know what I was thinking this morning?
Come on, Messi.
You won't put it past the way things are going, and it hurts me saying this like I can imagine a City-Liverpool final.
Stop it. That was the paper review. Get in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe as well. Also, big charity bike ride happening this weekend. What day is it? Sunday or Saturday?
Saturday noon.
Saturday noon. Saturday,
Hotel
12
football.
midday at Hotel Football. It's all for Mickey Thomas, so make sure you get down to it if you're free.